Hey, what is going on, guys? This video today is definitely going to be an interesting one. In my last upload about Update 8.20, I decided to not really say much about the removal of health and mats per kill, the faster farming rate, and the 1500 total material cap. I tried not to really overreact initially, and I wanted to give Epic a fair chance and an ample amount of time to reverse the removal of those changes. But now, here we are about half a week later, and Epic has given absolutely no indication that they plan to do that. And based on what we've seen in the past, if a change isn't reverted within about the first 48 hours or so, it's likely to stay for at least a couple of weeks. And to make matters even worse, about 2 days after the update was released to the public, the popular fan Twitter account @FortniteBR, which has over 600,000 followers, reported that Epic Games directly told them that they currently have nothing to share regarding the health/mat changes in Update 8.20. And in my opinion, that's basically just them politely saying to the community, leave us alone. So it's time to go on a full video rant about why this is without a doubt one of the worst and most negatively game-changing decisions in Fortnite history. This video is definitely going to get a bit heated, so be warned of that, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, let's start this video off by taking a look at how the community is reacting to the removal of those changes I mentioned in the intro. Like I said, at the time I'm recording this video, it's been about 3 days since the update, so I'm sure the community has probably calmed down by now and moved on to something else. Let's just go to a random tweet from the official Fortnite Twitter and check the replies to kinda see what people are talking about. Alright, so here's a pretty random tweet from a few minutes ago. It says, "We're underway with duos action from the Lux Cup. Tune in at twitch.tv/Fortnite. Absolutely nothing to do with the update or gameplay whatsoever, so I'm sure the top replies will be pretty random as a whole, so let's check them out. Alright, so we have revert, revert please, revert, 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 and revert, but in all caps this time. And it's not just random people on Twitter saying this. Practically all of the biggest names in the community have made it very clear that they strongly disagree with the change. The community is as outspokenly against this change as anything I've ever seen in Fortnite history. So with literally everybody speaking out against the update, it really begs the question, why did Epic do it? Are they simply just totally clueless to what the Fortnite community wants, or is there something else at play here? I will say that Epic has proven on multiple occasions that they can make some pretty terrible decisions. Infinity Sword, boomboxes, the aim assist cooldown, planes, and explosive penetration damage, just to name a few. But there is absolutely zero chance that Epic could possibly be clueless enough to think that people were gonna be happy with this change. I can guarantee they kinda saw this update as almost biting the bullet and accepting a ton of hate for what they believe is the long-term greater good of the game. You can tell this is the case because they're trying to distract us with things like the addition of ranked mode, bringing custom matchmaking back into the game, and doing some considerable performance fixes as well. It's basically the exact same strategy they employed when Apex Legends was starting to eat into their player base about a month and a half ago. So with that in mind, it creates another question. Why would they ever release an update that they knew with 100% certainty the community would hate? The theory that I and a bunch of other players believe is that it revolves around the addition of the ranked arena mode into the game. I don't think it's a coincidence that arena mode was added at the same time those fan-favorite gameplay settings were removed from public matches. What Epic is trying to do here is basically try to force as many above-average players as possible to move into mainly playing arena mode. They pretty much intentionally made public matches worse so that ranked, by comparison, looks like a much better option. And their long-term hope is that by doing this, public matches will become what Ninja referred to as a safe space for newer and less skilled players. It is important for any video game to make it so that newer players will continue to play the game. But let me explain to you a few reasons why intentionally sabotaging public matches to do that is an absolutely idiotic way to handle it. The first thing Epic needs to understand is that the majority of newbie or new or bad players actually really liked health plus mats per kill, the faster farming rate, and the 1500 material cap. Did it maybe raise the skill gap a little because good players were more likely to be near max health and mats? Yeah, that's probably true. But it also sharply decreased two things that new players hate just as much as a crazy skill gap: RNG and material farming. Nobody likes dying because they loot their entire starting town and can't find any shields. And what's even worse than that is when you lose a lot of health killing a player or even multiple players, and then they don't drop you any kind of healing to make up for it. With those deaths, it doesn't matter if you're Tfue or a guy that just started playing Fortnite today, you're going to be frustrated and blame the game more than anything else. And as bad as that is, the way material farming is impacted by this change is probably even worse. Imagine how frustrating it must be for new players who know the importance of getting materials. They'll spend the first 5 minutes of every game farming just to probably end up dying to the first enemy they see. Then they load out of the game, queue back in, and do it all over again. I mean, there's got to be a point where they just sit back in their chair and say, oh my god, I'm playing a video game and all I've done for the past 45 minutes is hit trees and rocks, run forward, load out of one game, and then load into another. It just makes absolutely zero sense to me, or really anybody with a brain, why Epic would ever dramatically increase the amount of time each player spends farming materials in a game. It's super boring, and all it does is make people have a less enjoyable experience while playing Fortnite. Now, I'm sure by this point in the video, at least one person has already commented something along the lines of, well, if you want to play a game mode with those removed settings, just play arena mode. Although that kinda makes sense in theory, the person commenting that, and also Epic Games apparently, needs to understand two things. The first hilariously obvious flaw in this logic is that there isn't even a squads option in arena mode. If you're someone that mainly plays squads with your friends, and honestly that may be the most common way Fortnite is played, there's nothing you can do to play a game mode with health plus mats per kill, a faster farming rate, and the 1500 mat cap, period. Plus, one of the biggest issues with arena mode is that for a lot of players, it can be very boring to play, and maybe even more importantly, incredibly boring to watch. One of the biggest reasons why Fortnite is the biggest game in the world right now is because of content creators. Watching incredibly entertaining players like Ninja, Tfue, Myth, Daquan, Nick Mercs, etc. makes you want to play the game for yourself. Keeping that in mind, let me explain to you guys what the viewing experience is like when these guys play high division arena matches. Alright, so they'll turn on the stream, say what's up, maybe talk for a few minutes, and then queue up an arena match. Believe it or not, that right there is actually your first problem. The majority of the time, the queue for these games is gonna be somewhere in the range of 10 to 20 minutes long. So maybe after a boring 15-minute wait, they finally find a game. And if you guys have watched any high-level competitive Fortnite before, you probably know that the first 10 to 15 minutes of the actual game is usually spent just farming materials, looting, rotating, and turtling. So it's a common thing for big streamers playing in arena to seriously go 30 plus minutes at a time with literally no action. With pubs, on the other hand, a good player is going to be constantly fighting and killing enemies. A 20 plus kill game usually means that you're getting a kill every 45 seconds or so. And I don't want anyone to see this as me hating on competitive or saying that pubs is better. I personally believe that it's very entertaining, but with the long queue times on stream especially, it can make it very hard to watch. So trying to get people to play arena by intentionally making public matches a worse experience is 100% the wrong way to go about it. Here's a pretty crazy idea. How about instead of making pubs worse so arena looks better by comparison, why not just leave pubs alone and make arena really good? You want the competitive guys to leave pubs alone so lower skilled players have an easier time? Well, then introduce some changes to rank that make the actual in-game experience more competitive. How about something as simple as removing fun yet non-competitive items from the arena loot pool? Things like the hamster ball is fun and totally fine for pubs, but it's an absolute game-ruining thing and competitive. Same deal with things like RPGs, clingers, and the heavy sniper. Or even experiment with some other RNG reducing changes like a 100% spawn rate of chests or an increased drop chance of ARs, shotguns, and SMGs. Those are all things that would make good players want to play arena mode without undermining public matches in the process. I mean, just look at a successful ranked mode in a game like Overwatch. They don't do anything negative to public matches to make people play ranked. Instead, they offer really cool rewards and recognition in the form of exclusive cosmetics and the prestige of being a certain rank and on the top of the leaderboards. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. What do you guys think about the removal of health plus mats per kill, the faster farming rate, and the 1500 material cap from public matches? Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.